Hashtag Trending would like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers a complete networking stack, wired, wireless, and cellular, in one integrated solution that's built for performance and scale. You can find them at meter.com/HTT. Microsoft rushes out an emergency Windows 11 fix after breaking sign-ins and shutdowns. Threads quietly passes X in daily mobile users. Intel may get an unexpected lifeline as TSMC hits hard capacity limits. And Wikipedia starts getting paid as AI companies strain its infrastructure. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. Microsoft has pushed an emergency out-of-band update for Windows 11 after a January security patch caused serious problems on some systems, including failed sign-ins and PCs that wouldn't shut down properly. The bug was introduced in January's Patch Tuesday update and affected core system behavior. Microsoft says impacted users could see endless loading screens at sign-in, or systems that appeared to shut down but never fully powered off. The fix was released outside the normal update cycle. The issue was severe enough to require immediate attention. What makes this notable is that it's not an isolated incident. Over the past 12 months, Microsoft has issued multiple out-of-band Windows updates to undo problems caused by its own patches. Windows Central has documented emergency fixes tied to authentication failures, boot problems, and BitLocker and security subsystem issues across both Windows 10 and Windows 11. Microsoft doesn't publish a formal count of updates, and they're not always labeled consistently. But based on Microsoft advisories and Windows Central's reporting, this is at least the third time in roughly a year the company has had to step in urgently after a Patch Tuesday update caused widespread disruption. The takeaway for IT teams is familiar, but increasingly uncomfortable. Windows security updates are now touching identity, authentication, and even shutdown logic, meaning a bad patch can take users out of work entirely. That's why staged rollouts and delayed deployments remain standard practice, even when updates are meant to improve security. Meta's social network Threads has overtaken X in daily mobile users, according to new data from analytics firm SimilarWeb, which estimates that Threads now averages more daily active mobile users than X. X still leads in overall monthly users and web traffic, but the gap on mobile has closed and then reversed. Growth at Threads has been driven largely by its tight integration with Instagram, which lowers the barrier to entry and encourages frequent use on phones. X, by contrast, has seen flatter mobile engagement following a period of rapid product changes and shifts in policy and moderation. Now, the data doesn't suggest X is disappearing. It remains influential for breaking news and real-time discussion, but on mobile, where most everyday social media use happens, Threads is now ahead. Intel may be getting an unexpected break, not from Washington, but from Taiwan. According to reporting from Yahoo Finance, TSMC said it's effectively run out of capacity to meet surging demand for advanced chips, particularly from customers like NVIDIA. TSMC executives have acknowledged they can't expand fast enough to keep pace with orders for leading-edge processors used in AI and high-performance computing. And this matters because TSMC, located on the island of Taiwan, dominates global production of advanced chips. When its fabs are fully booked, customers have few realistic alternatives. And that's where Intel comes back into focus. Intel has been rebuilding its manufacturing business and pitching its foundry service as a secondary option for customers looking to reduce supply risk. Now, There's no sign that major TSMC customers are going to abandon Taiwan and TSMC. But sustained capacity constraints increase pressure on chip designers to diversify manufacturing, even if it means accepting slightly older process nodes. For Intel, that doesn't solve its challenges, but it does put the company back in conversations it hasn't been part of for years. And finally, Wikipedia might be getting paid by the AI companies that have been using it for so long, and it's long overdue. The Wikimedia Foundation, the nonprofit that operates Wikipedia, has reportedly begun signing paid data access agreements with major AI companies including Meta, Microsoft, and Perplexity. The shift comes after years of strain caused by AI systems aggressively crawling Wikipedia's content. And Wikimedia says automated scraping, largely from AI training and inference systems, has driven a sharp rise in bandwidth usage and infrastructure costs. In some cases, bots are generating more traffic than human readers, pushing up expenses for an organization that relies heavily on donations and volunteers. Wikipedia is one of the most widely consulted sources on the internet and plays an outsized role in AI systems, especially for factual topics like history, science, geography, and biographies. Yet until now, AI companies have largely relied on it without compensation, even as their usage scaled dramatically. Under the new arrangements, Wikimedia is offering structured, paid access to its content, giving AI companies a more efficient way to obtain data while helping offset operating costs. Wikimedia has emphasized that the agreements do not grant editorial control and do not affect how Wikipedia content is written or moderated. The broader significance is hard to miss. As AI systems increasingly depend on shared digital knowledge, the free rider era may be ending, at least for this important service. Wikipedia isn't changing what it is, but the companies building trillion-dollar AI businesses are asked to help pay for the infrastructure they depend on. And that's our show. Once again, we'd like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers full-stack networking, infrastructure, wired, wireless, and cellular to leading enterprises. Working with their partners, Meter designs, deploys, and manages everything required to get performant, reliable, and secure connectivity in a space. They design the hardware, the firmware, build the software, manage deployments, and run support. It's a single integrated solution that scales from branch offices to warehouses and large campuses to data centers. You can book a demo at meter.com/HTT. That's METER.com/HTT. And I'm your host, Jim Love. I'd love to ask you a favor. I've been on a number of the podcast distributors who use our podcast, and we're getting great reviews from you, so I'm thankful for that. But if a couple more of you could just go in and, if you like the show, put on a review, make a recommendation to a friend. We've been doing great guns in terms of increasing our audience. We want to reach a bigger audience. We want to make a difference. So thanks in advance, and as always, I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a marvelous Monday.